Hello everyone, Spencer here, and today we're doing a what if, and it's what if Deku grew up with Jirou instead of Bakugo, and it's honestly probably gonna be a more wholesome what if, because Jirou's, once you get over that sour exterior, she's actually really nice. So, Jirou is actually going to be Deku's sister. And, Deku's quirkless, like in canon, for the first part. And, yeah. So, we'll start this off when Deku and Jirou when Deku's at the Quirk doctor. And it's clear he doesn't have a quirk. So, he's sort of crushed. And his sister tries to comfort him and all that, and yeah. So, we skip forward a few years to the Sludge villain attack. So, Izuku, while walking home, he told Jirou to go ahead of him. Izuku, while walking home, is attacked by the Sludge villain. Now he tries to resist suffocating, and then All Might comes and obliterates the Sludge villain. And that's how Deku meets All Might, and when All Might jumps, Izuku grabs onto his leg like in canon, and he asks All Might when they get to the rooftop, "Can I be a hero without a quirk?" And All Might says, after he puffs into his Small Might form and explains his injury and all that, All Might says, no, he honestly doesn't think Izuku can be a hero without a quirk. And, so Izuku hears an explosion while walking out of the building, and subconsciously he walks towards that direction. And, he sees Bakugo, but he doesn't know who Bakugo is, being attacked by the very same Sludge villain he was attacked by. And none of the heroes were doing anything. So Izuku charged in and did everything he can to save this ashy blonde stranger. And this inspired All Might, and All Might destroyed the Sludge villain. And, Izuku's scolded for his recklessness, and Bakugo is praised for his bravery, like in canon. And then they let both of them go, and Izuku walks home. On his way home, he's stopped by All Might, who offers him his power. And so the 10-month training arc happens, and I'm gonna say All Might tells Izuku to use the power throughout his entire body. And, So they go for the entrance exam. Izuku and Jirou are split up. I should be saying Kyoka because they're both Jiros. Izuku and Kyoka are split up because they were from the same school and they're siblings. And, and the entrance exam goes relatively the same to canon, and, except Izuku gets more points, and, he saves Uraraka, and all that, and, a few days later, Izuku and Kyoka get their entrance letters in the mail, acceptance letters in the mail for UA, and they're both in Class 1A. Yay! On their first day, they're walking through the halls of UA when they see a yellow-haired boy with a brown streak through his hair, looking around confused, asking everyone where Class 1A is. And, they keep telling him to go in some direction, and eventually Izuku says, "Hey, are you lost? Where do you need to go?" And the boy says, I need to go to Class 1A. And Izuku says, "Oh, we're going there too." And, so they get to talking on the way, and Kyoka and Izuku find out that the boy's name is Denki Kaminari. And when they get to Class 1A, Izuku sees the same boy that he saved a few months ago in the classroom, and that boy says, "Oi, you, I don't owe you anything, just so you know. You may have saved my life, but I'll probably save yours hundreds of times." And everyone's like, "Hey, aren't those two the guys that were on the news a few months ago?" And Kyoka just face palms. And, so, yeah. So, when Aizawa comes in, he says, "It took you all 10 seconds to shut up. This isn't gonna work if you're gonna become pros." And, he says, "Put these gym uniforms on and meet me outside at the field." And, this part goes relatively similar. The main differences being sibling reactions to each other from Kyoka and Izuku, because they're both Jiros. And so yeah, I'm gonna full on skip the Heroes vs. Villains training arc because I really don't like that arc. And, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So, instead of Izuku and Uraraka, it's Izuku and Jirou, and, well, Izuku and Kyoka, and, Danki is teamed up with Ochako Uraraka. So, Izuku and Jirou are against Bakugo and Ida. And they win, barely. And the rest of it goes relatively similar. So now on to the USJ arc. So, goes relatively similar to canon. Main differences being references to Izuku and Jirou being siblings. And, yeah. So, that happens, and, yeah. So, All Might defeats the Nomu and all that, and the teachers come in and thwart the villain's plans. And, then they get a 2 weeks off, I think it was, in canon, before the UA Sports Festival. And, Kyoka and Izuku train together for the majority of that, and also make some music. And, I'm gonna say Jirou has, like, a short talk with Izuku, and she says, "Hey, do you think Danki would be a suitable boyfriend?" she says, and Izuku's like, maybe, I don't know. And, it's like an awkward brother-sister conversation, if you've ever had one of those. And so, the UA Sports Festival, yes, goes relatively similar, except, instead of having Mei Hatsume on Izuku's team, he has Kyoka, because, let's be honest, twin siblings can't really be separated. So, yeah, it goes relatively the same. And, yeah. So, on to the Internships and Hero Killer arc. So, Izuku gets a internship with Gran Torino, like in canon. And, actually most of this plays out a lot like in canon. Except for the fact that Todoroki sort of, you know, it just goes exactly like in canon. And, that's how that went. And, so next would be the Heroes versus Teacher arc, yes. And it's... Who was Jirou and I think it's Danky against in canon? I think it was... I'm pretty sure it was, wait, did we even see their fight in canon? Either way, I'm gonna put Izuku and Jirou on a team again, and they're going to be against... I want to say... So, Uraraka and Aoyama were against 13. Sugar Rush and Red Riot were against Cementos. Ida and Tail and Ojiro were against Power Loader. Mineta and Sarah were against Midnight. And I think those were the only... oh wait, no. Todoroki and Momo were against Aizawa. Oh yeah, it was Koji Koda and Jirou against Present Mike. So it's going to be Izuku and Keoka against Present Mike, and Koji Koda and Bakugo against All Might. Because I don't want to separate these twins. So they pass, and so do Koji Koda, and basically all the passes are the same. And I think we made a pretty substantial dent in the story there, so I'm gonna leave it off here. So if you liked it and want a second part, please be sure to leave a like. I'll say 10 likes to get a part 2. And if you really liked it, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment for any additions you think I should add. And ring that notification bell. So, thank you all for watching. I have been Spencer.